Hey everybody, and welcome back to Photon Photography. Today I've got a new e-bike rack that I just got sent into me from a company named Outfitr, and I chose this e-bike rack because this one allows me to use 2 e-bikes up to 200 pounds, and it has an on-loading ramp that's going to allow me to get my heavy e-bike up onto the rack. Outfitr also included a new set of tail lights, so I'll be able to see my brake lights when I'm using this rack. What's going to be really cool about having this rack now is I use my e-bike for wildlife photography, and this is going to open up going to new locations throughout the state with my e-bike. So today we're going to unbox it, put it together, we're going to test it all out. I'm going to let you know my thoughts about this product as we go, so let's get right into it. All right guys, so now that I've got this e-bike rack assembled, the first thing I want to say is that it was a little bit intimidating when I opened the box up. There were quite a few parts, there were some bolts, but it was pretty easy to put together when I just followed the directions. So if I can do it, you'll be able to do it no problem. Now looking at this e-bike rack, it's pretty cool. It's got adjustable little heels here for where your e-bike wheel is going to sit. So it's nice that you can adjust this to any e-bike that you're going to be using. It locks down on both wheels, and then you've got these little levers that after you've loaded the e-bike in, you will then lift that lever up, and then this little harness here is going to come down and it's fully adjustable, and then this is going to go on to what I think would be your seat post most likely. So you're going to have 3 points of contact. You're going to have both wheels strapped down here, and you're also going to have this third one on the seat post, making sure that your e-bike is nice and secure, and it's all fully customizable. And I saw in the directions that it does say when you load the e-bike, you want to take these right off and you want to bring them all the way down. Now, one of the reasons that I picked this specific e-bike rack was because this model comes with the loading ramp. So what we really want to see is if my girlfriend is able to get her e-bike up onto this rack without a lot of assistance from me. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so bring it on up. You want to bring it right up over that hump and right into that. Good job. Perfect. Okay, and then this strap's just gonna go right up over our wheel here. Ratchet straps right in. Nice and tight and secure. Then I'm gonna come around back. Now what we wanna do when we adjust this heel, which initially confused me, is we wanna bring this heel up into front of the wheel now. So what I'm gonna do is just what I'll do, Nikki, actually is I'll lift this and you can go ahead. So remember, it's got this little lever here that you're gonna need to open up. So I'm gonna just lift that up. She's gonna slide that forward.
Right in front of the tire, right? Like right
yep, so I'll
there.
put the tire down and then you can bring it to it and then lock that lever down.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, it was easy. And hold the bike again for me. So once you've got that heel set up right where you want it, I'm actually just going to tuck it back just a little, right up to that tire. And then I'm going to bring this latch, bring this ratchet strap right up again over the wheel. And they included these nice little rubber cushions to go over your wheel. So if you've got a nice wheel that you don't want to scratch, they got you covered there too. That goes down nice and tight. That's nice. Ratchet system, adjusts to the angle of your wheels. The little heel adjusts to your wheels. So we've got 2 points of contact at this point. So now what I think I'm gonna do is bring your seat up a bit to give me some of that bar there, the seat post. And then, and this was important, you wanted to, when we loaded the bike, we wanted to have this bar down, both bars down. Now I bring the bar up And then I put this final harness on. And that'll go onto here. Again, fully adjustable, so bring that bike back now. Boom, that's gonna sit right there, so I'll lock that on. Very easy. Again, another ratchet strap will come around that seat post. And that's gonna lock right in, nice and tight. And boom.
All right.
And that feels like it ain't going nowhere.
A little yank for me from that side.
No, it's going.
Yeah?
It's got nowhere. It's going nowhere. It's nice. That's nice. So, Nikki was able to load this e-bike, and right on there pretty easily, right?
Oh yeah.
Yep, pretty easily, and it looks like it's going to hold it nice and sturdy. So far so good. So another thing to take into consideration with this e-bike rack is that this little ramp here where you load your e-bike, it does take some amount of space over to each side. So in this driveway, I don't have enough room. So what I'm gonna do is actually pull the Jeep forward. I'm gonna bring it over to this other side. That way I can bring my e-bike and mount it from this side. Okay, so that's just something to take into account. So let's move that Jeep and load the other e-bike. Okay, so now I move the Jeep over. So let's put the ramp back on. So it's just a little folding ramp. Two little hinges here, just gonna go right into those slots. Make sure you get those securely in there. You don't want that to slip when you're loading your bike, right? Again, you do need some space over to the side here. And boom, we've got a nice tight e-bike. Now this is a heavy e-bike too. This is 87 pounds stock. So once I add my cargo bags and my rack that I normally have on here, it'd be even heavier. But I'm very confident in this e-bike rack. It's built strong, it feels strong. There's not a lot of wobble there. I really like the ramp and the ability to just bring it up easily, but this feels like a really nice e-bike rack. I'm really happy that Outfitr chose me to review it because it looks like a nice product. It also folds up. So if you want to be able to tilt this up, it does have that feature, and I will show you that. One thing I do want you to take into consideration is if you have a lifted Jeep, like this Jeep has a lift kit, it has some big tires on it. Because we have aftermarket big tires as a spare tire on the back, we did have to get a little sleeve adapter that kicked us out an extra 3 inches. And that was only 20 bucks. It came on Amazon overnight and fixed the problem right off the bat. Again, if you're stock, I don't think that's gonna be an issue. But if you do have aftermarket big tires and you need to kick out a little bit further, you might wanna take that into consideration. So now what I wanna do is I wanna just take it out. We're gonna take the e-bikes over and we're gonna just test out this e-bike rack and see how it holds the e-bikes. So I just remembered before I actually hit the road, Outfitr did include a set of tail lights. So I've got 2 little brake light blinker lights. I've just got to bolt these on. Real simple, it seems like. I'm gonna follow the directions real quick. I'm gonna put these on before we hit the road. It's basically a couple of bolts. I'm gonna have a right and a left, and I just gotta put the little wiring harness on there and attach it to the Jeep. Hopefully everything's gonna work out. I've actually never used the adapter on the back of this Jeep, so hopefully that works as well. But let's install these. So unfortunately, we've run into 2 problems. One being the harness on the back of the Jeep is so corroded and so packed full of mud that I can't even get the harness to plug in. And the other problem is, even if I did get that harness to plug in, and even if it did work, which I'm not sure it does at this point, having that 3-inch extender that I had to use would probably not make this wiring harness work. Now, they may have an extension for the wiring harness. I'm sure you can get one. I'm positive you can get one, so you could make it work. But the way that I have this set up right now, this wiring harness will not reach the harness, nor will it even work with my harness. So I'm actually gonna take them off. But this is a nice little accessory that really goes in really perfectly. I don't have these bolts in tight, but they go in really easily and are custom made for this rack and would give you blinkers and brake lights. So that is a really nice accessory. Unfortunately, I won't be able to actually use them, but it is a really cool add-on that they do have for this. So overall, I'm really impressed with this e-bike rack from Outfitr. It's solidly built, feels high quality, and everything about it just works the way it should. It attaches easily to a standard 2-inch hitch, and I really like that it uses a threaded pin instead of a regular hitch pin because that tightens everything up and completely eliminates any wobble. Now in my setup, I do have to use a 3-inch hitch extension because of the aftermarket tire on the back of my Jeep, and that did introduce a little bit of wobble, but that's on me, not the rack. Without the extension, it's really tight and solid. It's rated to carry up to 200 pounds, which is plenty for a pair of heavy e-bikes, and the whole setup feels strong and secure. Once the bikes are locked in, they're held firmly in place. The wheel trays and the frame clamps do a great job of keeping them steady. Even at highway speeds, there's no shifting, rattling, or movement at all. And one thing I really love is the loading ramp. It's super convenient, lightweight but sturdy, and it makes rolling the bikes on and off effortless. My girlfriend's only about 103 pounds, and she was able to load and unload the bike herself without any trouble. After using it for a while, I can confidently say Outfitr did a great job with this rack. It's strong, easy to use, and gives you total peace of mind knowing your bikes are safe and secure on the back of your vehicle.